Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV Current. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Our YouTube channel is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access our broadcast. And on Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. The headlines. Tinubu swearing in FG direct security agencies to cordon off Federal Secretariat from May 26th. 2 million vulnerable Nigerians impacted by FG's poverty reduction scheme in 2022, or Shimbajo. National Assembly, we have approved Buhari's $800 million loan request, Ahmed. Court fixes date for judgment on murder of choir mistress, orders by pastor. And on sport, on the 20 World Cup, Flying Eagles Old Force training session in Mendoza. Now the news in detail. The federal government has announced that the Federal Secretariat complexes phases 1, 2, 3, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be cordoned off by security operatives from 2 p.m. on Friday, 26 May 2023 to Monday, 29 May 2023 to allow for each free inauguration of the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May 29th at Eagle Square. Workers in the Federal Secretariat and visitors have been advised to keep off the Federal Secretariat from 2 p.m. Friday, May 26th to Tuesday, 30th May 2023 when work would resume. This was contained in a circular dated 19th May 2023 and signed by Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Office, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, Dr. Ngozi Onwudiwe, addressed to all ministries and agencies of government. The circular reads, as you may be aware, the Presidential Transition Council, PTC, has unveiled the activities marking the 2023 presidential inauguration ceremony. The inauguration parade and swearing-in of the President-elect, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is the climax of the program, will take place on Monday, 29th May 2023 at the Eagle Square, Central Business District, Abuja. In line with the security amendment for the event, the Federal Secretariat complexes phases 1, 2, and 3, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, will be cordoned off by security operatives from 2 p.m. on Friday, 26 May 2023 to Monday, 29 May 2023. According to the officers and attendant visitors to the affected areas will not be allowed access till Tuesday, 30th May 2023, when work will resume in earnest. Kindly bring the content of this circular to the attention of all concerned, it stated. And to the next story. President Muhammadu Buhari's National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy, NPRG's, an initiative aimed at reducing poverty across Nigeria, has impacted on millions of Nigerians, a presidential spokesperson says. The Strengthening Committee of NPRGs is chaired by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. A media update by Mr. Osinbajo's spokesman, Laulu Akode, on Friday in Abuja, indicated to no fewer than 2 million vulnerable Nigerians were impacted by various projects implemented by the NPRG's Committee for the year 2022. Mr. Akode said millions of Nigerians were impacted in agriculture, rural roads construction, and skills and vocational training in less than a year of operations. A recalled Osinbajo at a meeting with committee members affirmed that the Buhari administration was committed to lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. The spokesman said that the vice president had explained that it would not be a business as usual approach, but a very simple, common sense strategy that would deliver the results as the president promised. Findings indeed show that about 1.6 million smallholder farmers were impacted under the agriculture for jobs plan alone, while 13,000 youth have been trained under a technical and vocational education and training program in 6 states. They comprise Lagos, Ogun, Enugu, Gombe, Kaduna, and Nasarawa, while arrangements are underway to provide similar trainings for 2,000 beneficiaries in Edo. Equally, more than 8,000 Nigerians were employed in rural roads construction under the Rural Roads Program, which built 40 rural roads in 120 communities, covering about 57.3 kilometers across the country. Some of the programs that have achieved 100% completion of the 2022 cycle include Agriculture for Food and Jobs Plan, AFJP, and construction of rural roads. And to the next story. A member House of Representative Committee on Loans, Aid and Debt Management, Abubakar Yunusa Ahmed, says federal lawmakers have approved the $800 million loan request of President Muhammadu Buhari. The lawmaker, however, argued that the loan would not be utilized by Buhari administration, saying the incoming government would deploy its own approach to utilize the loan. The $800 million, there were so many talks that we did, especially we in the loan committee, and we advised them, first, leave this thing to the incoming government. Ahmed, who was a guest on China's television Sunrise Daily on Friday, said, but since the loan has been granted, we can collect. If we cannot use it, it may be when the incoming government comes, they may have a different approach to issues, maybe unlike this government that is here. Thank God, I won't say it clearly, but it was on the social media that probably they intended not to use any Buhari's ministers because they have already taken them to have underperformed. So the issue is, we have granted that loan, it is approved, so we want Nigerians to take it, but it's going to be utilized by this outgoing government. Now, if the incoming government comes, we will see also their own templates.
The $800 million, there were so many talks that we did, especially we in the loans committee, and we advised them, first, leave this thing to the incoming government. But since the loan has been granted, well, we can collect. If we cannot use it, maybe the purpose and everything, when the incoming government comes, they may have different approach to issues, maybe unlike this government that is there. Thank God, well, I wouldn't say it clearly, but it was on social media that probably they intended not to use any of Buhari's ministers because they have already rated them to have underperformed. So I'm coming. Yeah. So the issue is, yes, we have granted that loan. It is approved. So we want Nigeria to take it, but it is not going to be utilized by this outgoing government. Now, if the incoming government come, now we will see also their template, which they are writing it. I cannot divorce it out. So, but even that one that I said, I think that they will not use any of Buhari's.
A River State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt will on the 5th of June 2023 deliver judgment on the murder case filed by the River State government against the general overseer of a new generation church in Oyubo, local government area of the state, Pastor Chidebere Okorafor. Pastor Okorafor is alleged to have murdered his choir mistress Oluma Nwagba, who he reportedly impregnated. The pastor is also accused of killing the friend of the choir mistress, Chigozie Ezenwa, alongside her daughter. Information report that when the matter, which was initially scheduled for judgment on Friday, was mentioned, the defense counsel filed a motion on notice requesting the court to vacate earlier orders in favor of the prosecution, which foreclosed them from filing their final written address on the matter. Ruling on the motion, the trial judge, Justice S.O. Benson, granted the motion and asked the parties to present and adopt their final written address, which was done accordingly. The judge thereafter adjourned till the 5th of June 2023 for judgment. Operative of the River State Police Command had on 17th of December 2017 arrested Pastor Okorafor following an alarm raised by the husband of Ezenwa, friend to the choir mistress who was killed alongside her daughter. The police had, after parading the suspect, immediately commenced its prosecution before the state government, through the Office of the Ministry of Justice, took over the case. From Anambra State, on the case which we just mentioned, we go to the sports story now. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria had their first training session since arriving in Mendoza on Friday. The Damboso side arrived in the city on Wednesday following a 10-day camping program in Buenos Aires. The 2-hour session was held at the Mendoza Technical Center. The two-time finalists are gearing up for their upcoming and opening game of the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup against debutant Dominican Republic. The Flying Eagles will take on the North Americans at the Estadio Malvinas Argentinas in Mendoza on Sunday. The Eagles will face Italy in the second game in Mendoza before traveling to La Plata for their last group game against Brazil. That story ends the national news this hour from BGI TV Currents. Before we go, some major headlines. Tinubu swearing in. FG directs security agencies to condone off Federal Secretariat from May 26. 2 million vulnerable Nigerians impacted by FG's poverty reduction scheme in 2022. Vice President Oshibajo. National Assembly, we have approved BUHARI's $800 million loan request. Ahmed. And on sport, Flying Eagles Old Force training session in Mendoza, Argentina. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placement only. Thank you for watching. I am Maurire Rabila Lawal. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.